Anyway, this video is getting really long, and sorry to have to break it up into 3 pieces, but back to the vision. Yeah, people are going to have very strong relationships with each other, not just their spouses, but with their family and their teachers and their administrators, and everybody is going to live. Oops, hold on. Sorry, I wanted to make sure the sound was turned on. Everybody's going to live, each floor is going to be like this community, but the building is going to be a community. And then, like I said, there'll be 2, 3, 4 buildings in a city, and the city will have a city identity, a community, but it won't be like now where we segregate ourselves off. Each city is part of a bigger network. It really mimics nature. You have the individual, you have the family, you have the community, you have the city, you have the world. It's going to be very interconnected. And that's where the government comes in. The government is the facilitator of the connectiveness of the world. It's not, I don't think there's going to be like presidents. I think there'll be administrators, people who as children show aptitude towards organizational skills, things like that. We're going to look for the qualities in human beings that are their strong suits, and we're going to nurture people to become the best that they can become. But not like it is now, where we pressure people to be a certain thing or work a certain number of hours it's not like that. It's much, much more relaxed. The individual is going to have a lot more freedom to really express themselves and grow into what they can be, what they want to be. People, I know this sounds very Star Trek like, but people are going to pursue their passions, and the government is going to help with resource allocation. So, if this community has a lot of children who are engineering, they have a lot of aptitude towards engineering, but other places don't. They're gonna, help those children to grow into what they can be, and then help move them around. People, but never force people. Nobody, because communications are going to be so easy at that point. You don't have to be in a city to be part of that city. You could be an engineer for, we'll just call it Block A city and Block B city. You could live in Block B city, but be an engineer for Block A city, because we have these education systems, or these communication systems, these like, they're almost like AI, but they're not like the evil we imagine AI could possibly be. They are there to help human beings, facilitate human beings, and they are very smart. And they actually do help the administrators of the government know how to move the resources around. They help educate the children. While it does seem like there's still an emphasis on human-to-human education, there are teachers. Each of these family floors, individuals within the collective floor group have responsibilities. Some people are there to help make sure that everybody eats nutritious food, or some people are there to be teachers, some people work on the buildings, other people go out and farm the land, but everybody has their place. But it's not evil, it's not rigid. It's like you don't have to stay in a career your whole life if you know. But you know, it's also very realistic. The if you say you want to leave your engineering profession and become a farmer, they're going to say, well, we don't really need any farmers right now, but you know, we're going to see what we can do to facilitate that for you. So it's not rigid. It's not rigid. Like I said, the point is they want people to be happy, because I think overall, the overall arching message of the vision is that we finally wake up and realize what life is about. It's a really deeply spiritual society. They are not necessarily religious in the sense that we are now. I do feel there is still some kind of I don't know if Christianity still exists. Maybe it does. It seems like there are some pockets, some people who still believe in kind of a deity-based religious, but it seems like it's more about the spirituality of community and truly loving the people you live with, truly loving your city, truly loving and caring that, you know, Block A city has what they need, or that Block B city has what they need. When people hear of a shortage or hear, you know, of a problem, they'll jump on it because they want to do good for other people. You know, say Block A city has a complex machine that breaks down, but they can't repair it themselves. People from this other city will want to rush over there to help them. You know, there's no more of this segregation mentality. It's a belief that we're all in it together. We're all here to be happy as best we can. And when it's not that there won't be problems, like I said, there will be, but the way we will approach those problems will be totally different than we are now. You know, so much of our society now is so divorced from its various parts. In other words, you know, like rich people, they're rich, okay? But they have no idea how to make a mayonnaise, or how the streets get repaired, or they just pay people to do that stuff for them. That's all going to be gone. People are going to be open to new experiences, sharing what they know and what they've learned, putting their heads together to solve problems. It really sounds like an amazing place. And the coolest part of the vision that I got, I know I've discussed a lot of like mechanical details or whatever. The buildings, like I said, they sit on these legs, these big legs that kind of curve out, kind of like spiders, I guess, spider legs. But the legs have stairs, and they can come down the stairs, and all the buildings are arranged in a round situation where there's a central city. I want to call it an amphitheater, but it's big and it's full of greenery and, you know, artwork, and where permitted fountains, you know, because some people will live in desert and some people will, you know, water resources are going to be something that they have to manage carefully there. But like they'll have these festivals, and everybody will just pour out of the buildings. Sorry. It's a very emotional vision because it's so beautiful. But they'll have festivals and they'll come together into this main city corridor, like 5,000 people. It's not that many people, and they'll have plays, they'll put on plays, and they'll have music. The art will just explode. I kind of get the impression that everyone will have some sort of artistic or creative outlet. No longer will we just have artists and non-artists. Everybody will have something to contribute to the creative, spiritual, musical, artistic life of the community. This idea of art in its many forms is real significant in this culture. They'll come together for festivals. They'll all make food and they'll bring it to the central area and they'll eat and they'll play games and they'll have plays and they'll have concerts. Oh, and the most amazing interface between computer generated music and human voice, like these just choral symphonies. And it's not going to sound like what we play, it will have the history of music that we have, but it will change and it will expand and it'll become really amazing. And they can actually, this is another thing, they can it's almost like laser show type stuff, but it's much more sophisticated. They can show pictures up in the sky around them to augment the performances. So it's like people are singing and there's music and then there's these video displays. They take the very best of what technology can bring to the human spirit to facilitate the expression of human joy. It's so amazing. Anyway, I go on and on about this stuff. I'm sorry. I just really, the point of all of this is to let you know, and I've said it over again, I'm probably going to say it a million more times, there is hope. There's always hope. And there is a bright future. And what we do today will bring us closer and closer to that paradise that I just described to you. Mind you, that's a vision. It's subject to free will. Things can change. There's no guarantee that will happen. But if you want it to happen, then, like we talked about, you have to believe in your heart. Believe in good outcomes. Believe in the highest outcome, higher than you can even fathom. Ask your guides. Calling on my guides of 100% divine light, assist me with this work today, committing myself only to the highest good in body, mind, spirit. I ask the universe to bring about paradise on earth. I ask the Spirit to guide me in my actions and my thoughts, to bring only the best, not just for myself, but for everyone I know, the trees, the earth, the animals, my dogs, whatever your furry pet is, if you have one or don't, your children, you name it. Just bring the best possible vibration to us. Help us work through our problems. Let us find ways to respect each other while we disagree. Let us find ways to bring the best out in technology and get rid of the negativity in our technology that we have now. Let us learn to become part of the ecosystem of the earth, the sustainable part of the ecosystem of the earth. Those are my wishes. You can add your own. I highly, highly recommend it. And then I close by saying, calling on my guides of 100% divine light. Thank you for your assistance today. Amen.